Welcome to email marketing, turning clicks into customers. So, dollar for dollar, email marketing is the most effective form of marketing. Oh, are you switching the?
Okay, yes. I just want to make sure that people can see the slideshow. Can you see the slideshow correctly on your screen, Chloe?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Sorry about that. Can someone out there use the chat and just let us know if you can see the slideshow and maybe us as well? And all of you, you can click in the upper right corner where it says view, where you have different option on what you can see. Oh, they say yes. Okay, awesome. Thank you so much. So, Chloe, let's start over again.
All right. If you want to go to the next
Yeah.
slide. Oh, so this is email marketing, turning clicks into customers. I'm Chloe and my co-host is Katrine. We're from Easy Marketing. We have a lot of great information for you today, and we hope to get to as many of your questions as we can. But if we miss yours or you think of something later, we are going to provide our contact information right there. So contact us. We'd love to hear from you. And we also invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel where we have our videos from previous webinars. Easy Marketing is located in Northeast Florida. We're celebrating 21 years in the business. And we have clients throughout the US and abroad. We specialize in website design, email marketing, social media management, and graphic design. Our clients range from local upstarts to international green energy companies. Oh, that is the wrong slide.
Okay. It's the next slide. So you might be thinking here that email, that sounds like a good marketing strategy, but why do I need do I need an email marketing provider? Can I just send emails from Gmail or Yahoo account? And there's actually many reasons, but as you know, in business, the first impression matters. You rarely get a second chance. So when someone opens your email, you will give them less than a 2-second chance to take a glance and decide if they're gonna continue you viewing your email. So what is it that you want them to see? Is this your first impression or is this your first impression? So let's compare a couple of emails based on the first impression. So should it be an email like the one to the left that comes from Google or Gmail or Yahoo account? Or do you want it to be something looking like to the right where there are your branding, your logo, your colors and images and a button for a call to action? Which one is it that you are looking for? Chloe?
So, especially when email marketing platforms are inexpensive, easy to use, and far more effective, you don't need any design skills or experience to create beautiful, professional looking emails in a matter of minutes, thanks to hundreds of professionally designed templates. So why use email marketing? There's great reasons, such as an email marketing platform ensures your emails are optimized simultaneously for both desktop and mobile. It keeps you out of hot water by ensuring that your emails are compliant with the Can Spam Act. They're going to help you follow the law, make sure you don't get blacklisted, and help you avoid those hefty fines. They're also remarkably easy. You don't need to be an IT expert, like I said previously, because they have all the ready-made templates for you. And Katrine will show you later an example of that. And as you get more advanced, they'll help you with list management and tracking your success in real time with robust reporting tools. So people read, 91% of people read their email. I mean, in the morning, I'm checking my email. I'm sure most of you are as well. And In marketing terms, that's what we call reach. 88% check their email on their smartphone. So it's consumed morning, noon, and night. So many of us can relate to this on a daily basis, and so can your audience. Email works because it meets your customers where they are. Email is also reliable. About 90% of emails get delivered compared to Facebook posts, for example, that typically reach just 2% to 4% of followers. It's something that people are comfortable with and rely on for everything from updates from their bank, messages from school, work, and of course, promotional messages from businesses that they have shown interest in. The best reason of all is that marketing has 3 times the conversion rate of social media. For every $1 spent in email marketing, there is an average of $36 return on investment. So the time and money you spend is a solid investment for your business.
So we put it together a couple of examples here. So this is our own. So to the left here, you see an example of our newsletter that we send out once a month that include a blog and a lot of content. The next one is probably one of the emails you received about a month ago, where we suggest that you sign up and join us for the upcoming webinar. And the next one, it is a follow-up email. Like all of you today, after today's webinar, you are going to get a thank you for attending today's webinar, and it's going to give you a link. So you can see that these 3 emails, they are branded and they go together, and people like you are expected to see them. So let's take a look at some other emails. This is a local mortgage team that we worked with. Here we can compare 2 types of emails. To the left, you see a newsletter, and on the right is a standalone email. The newsletter includes multiple sections like a blog link, tips, promotions, and it's sent regularly. And it's great to keeping your audience engaged over time. The standalone email is more focused. It shares one clear message like a product launch or an event invite, and it's meant to drive quick action. Both have value depending on your goal, depending on engagement, and it's ongoing engagement versus immediate response. And the next one here is one of our current client, a talent search firm for the insurance industry. To the left, you can see his newsletter, and to the right is a special email about one subject. Chloe, you can talk about this one.
Yes, so this is one of our big clients, Moose Haven. It's a retirement community. On the left, you see a newsletter, and well, both are a newsletter. So these are 2 different versions of a newsletter, where on the left, we're showing resident activities. They're constantly having activities where we write a blog, put a picture in there, have a couple of details, and then a call to action button for them to then go to the website to read more. So you always want to have a certain amount of information in the newsletter, but you want them to then want more information and use the call to action button to get more traffic to your website.
So armed with that information about why you should be using email, let me show you how this works, because how you might be thinking, how can I create something that looks like this? How do I do that? And that's what we're going to show you. So first, as we said, you are not using Gmail or Microsoft or AOL. There are many reasons for it. We saw one, that those are plain emails. But more than anything, if you're sending out mass emails to a list of many people, none of this Gmail, Microsoft, AOL will allow you to send out. You have to use and subscribe. So subscribe to an email service. there are many of them out there, but we are using Constant Contact. And that's what we use for many years. It has a free test account, and you can actually get started with as low as $10 a month for up to 500 contacts, and there is never a long-term contract. So this is how it's done. You are at your computer and you start a free trial. So you sign up, and one of the first thing it's going to ask you to do is to pick a template that looks similar to something you like. So in this case, we're going to take this one for a barbecue place or kind of barbecue place look. And when you take it in here, you have just the basic template with no real text in here. You will simply go in and pull in an image that is yours. You will add your logo. You can change the colors to match your logo. And you, of course, put in your call to action in here. That will, because again, with a click, we're going to make sure that we get responses, and the call to action needs to be something that takes them to a website, to Facebook, make the phone ring, anything that's a call to action, all depending on the purpose of your email. So of course you put anything in here. And when you created your first email, then you need to send it. So you need to, in your own account, the Constant Contact, you upload a list of the email addresses you have, and they need to be yours, okay? You can't just take any email list. You can't have a friend that has a garage and they said, oh, I have 500, my clients, you can use that in your flower store or your barbecue place. No, you can't do that. They have to be your contacts, and the contacts need to expect that they are going to get something, or they have promised to, they have allowed you to send emails to them. So just make sure that you do that. Otherwise, you can be marked as a spam company, and then you kind of have to start over again. If you have questions about this, give me a call afterwards. So again, it's important that you have permission, and there are many ways to collect information. You can create QR codes where people sign up. Here is on a tablet. People subscribe to your newsletter by enter the email address and click subscribe, and that email address will go right into your account. You can put subscribe buttons on your website. There are many, many ways. If you are doing more manually, you can have someone in your store writing down their email address with their understanding that they're going to get your emails. You can also promise them something. You can promise them, if you sign up for a newsletter, you're going to get 10% off your next visit or next purchase. Because as I said, there is something called the Can Spam Act, which says that you can be closed down if you send emails. And if you think back how it was like 10, 15, 20 years ago, you know how much crap we got in our inbox? We don't see that anymore because these things are really working. It is the law, but more than anything, the big email companies out there like Gmail, Outlook, Yahoo, AOL, Comcast, all of them are doing their best to make sure that emails are not sent out that are spam email or inappropriate emails and everything. So that's why you can't send out big batches of emails. I think both Gmail and Outlook has like a maximum of 50 emails. So it's important to know all of that. So, but let's move in now and take a look at what it looks and an email looks like. part by part. Chloe.
So these are your 7 elements of an email for email marketing. And you want your header, your pre-header, your logo and colors, your message body, call to action, footer, and obviously your image. And once you have a template, you can create your master template for your company. So your master template needs to be consistent in your email marketing. We want all emails to be similar in look and feel, and we call that branding. So that customers know without even reading it that this is from your business, such as Moose Haven, they have resident activities. There's always at least 5 or so resident activities, and every month there's something new. So they know when they're opening up the email that there's going to be a list of new resident activities previous from last month. And that is consistent every month. A master template helps you achieve the consistency and also saves you a ton of time because you can make a copy of it and reuse it again and again by plugging in content specific to that campaign. So let's look at each of the 7 elements. First is your header. You may not think that the header plays an important role in design, but we include it here because it's the first thing people see in their inbox. It's your only chance to catch the reader's attention and to get them to open the email. People are making quick decisions about what to open and what to trash, so you want to use this element to your advantage. The from information displays first. Ideally, you want to use an email address from your business domain, meaning the email will end with Southside Cycling if you're Southside Cycling, or Easy Marketing in our case. You can ask your website host to set that up or give us a call and we'll point you in the right direction. Now let's take a look at another example of why this from information is so important. What would you do if you receive this email and you don't know who the sender is? Would you open it up or would you ignore it? As far as the logo, you want your logo to be either center or front or top left. And the image, you want the image to coincide with whatever your business is or whatever you're presenting for this email. The message body, you want it to be 20 words or less. You don't want to inundate them with information. You want to have keep it short and sweet and use the call to action button to then direct them to your website to read more. And in the footer, you want to make sure that you always have your contact information. They need to know where you're located and how to reach you and who you are. So the photo is important because it grabs the reader's attention. You want to choose an image that supports your message. If you're having a sale on a particular product, include a clear image of the product or of someone using the product. If you're promoting an event, use a photo that captures the fun people had during that event. For example, South Cycling has included an image of the inventory that they are promoting. Because your main goal is to inspire action from readers, you want to give special attention to your headline. The headline has to capture the reader's attention, and we also recommend that it be in 22-point font. That way it's visible for readers on their mobile device and on their desktop. If the text is too small, they might just trash it, ignore it, and never look at it again. When it comes to designing your email, you never send the email without asking readers to do something. That's where the call to action button comes into play. So you can make it something as click here, order now, register by a certain date, request a copy, or download our guide, depending on whatever your email is about.
Okay, are we ready for next?
Yep.
Slide here. So I think we already did this. We talked about the slide. We should have hidden those. This is everything that Chloe just went through. So bear with us as we jump through this emails. Okay, and here. So really what we are talking about here is when you create your first template with the colors, the logo, with the footer, and after that, it's really simple. You have a picture, you have a paragraph, and you have your call to action. So what is the call to action, Chloe?
So the call to action is asking your readers to do something, and you want to entice them to do that thing. So if it's adding in just a little bit of text and then encouraging them to read more on a blog, or you're having a sale, click here for sale or buy now, or visit us for our next webinar. Here's the link to the next webinar, giving a little information about the webinar and enticing them to then click to register, or clicking to register for a new event. It just depends on what your goal is.
So if you are brand new and let's say you do have a restaurant and you have just signed up for your test, or you go in and pay the fee to start with, the first thing you're going to do is to create an email. And it's going to get you there right away. And it's going to give you suggestions to a lot of templates. So we can actually simply go in and look at all the templates we have, and then we can make a search. So in this case, let's say we are a restaurant. So let's say that that is your industry. You can see many different options here, and you will pick whatever works best for you, the kind of layout, what things is. Remember, you're going to add your logo and your text in here. So we are jumping in and picking this one, because this is one that I usually use as an example. So of course, my company here, my little restaurant, is not called Buddies. So, and this is an image. So I'm going to replace that image, and I have already uploaded this. I have already uploaded my logo in here, but when you get started, the first time you do it, you upload it from your computer where you have your logo, you put it up into your private constant contact account, and now we can insert that into the newsletter. And then this is just a standard image here. Yours might be something totally different. So let's say we are introducing St. Louis pork basket. So if that is the text, we can just put that in here and start to change things around. Then again, we will replace the image. And again, I have uploaded a different image before. See if we have that sample. And we inserting, of course, your image. You can go in and change colors and background. You can take them one by one. If you don't like this yellow background, but you still like a background with a fork and knife and plates and everything, you can always go in here and change that to a different color, whatever works best with you and with your logo. All the information in here, you will simply go in and add that in here. I have them already written on a different screen, so I'm just going to do a copy and paste. So we are adding that in here. Everything at the bottom you will update, and then you have your call to action. And that call to action might be to take them to your website. I don't have a website for this company, but just for you to see how you link in an email. This is our website. So if you had your company website up here, you simply highlight it's called URL, the domain name up there. You do a copy. You go into the button here and add a link. And it's going to be a link to a website. So make your reservation now. Now I don't know if you saw that. I right click and I say paste. So I highly recommend that you copy and paste that and don't type it in. You will of course test this before you get going, but now we can test and preview this newsletter or this email. You can see what it looks like on a desktop and you can see what it looks on a mobile. And it really didn't take me long. You need to upload your logo and your images the first time. But next time, when you have sent this out, the only thing you need to do is to take a copy of this one and then put in a new image, new text, and most likely a different call to action. When you're happy with that, you click on continue. And we are going to send this out. So before you send it out, you have imported your contacts, and we call those to a contact list. So if that's the barbecue list you want to do it, you can send that out and you can send it now or you can send it later. So those are the steps of sending out your emails. So that was my quick little demo. And again, it isn't hard. You just need to sit down, take an hour, just make sure you have your logo and your information, a couple of pictures, and then you can easily build everything and set it up. So, you can set everything up. If you know for sure you want to get started, give us a call and we will set you up. And if you decide you're going to have a paid account, we will be happy to set you up and create your first template and import your contacts, and we will have that all set up. And again, don't forget we have our YouTube channel where you have all our information. So that was an hour and a half. Oh, that was half an hour. So Chloe, do we have anything? We have two things on the chat here. They are just saying thank you. Thank you, Millie and Jenny and everyone. So
Thank you for joining.
again, what?
I was saying thank you for joining
Yes, thank you
and
so
bearing
much.
with us.
Exactly. Thank you. And we hope to see you next month talking about social media.
Yeah.